Is Ben available? Hey, Ben, do you have a quick second to come to the courtroom, or are you tied up? I need a troubleshooting on getting stuff on the projector from the Zoom hearing. Thank you. Bye. Sorry, Ben.
What's up?
I can't figure out how to get it to connect.
What are you connected to?
The HDMI deal.
Let's see.
Like I already got the Zoom thing going.
Oh, that projector has to be in.
Oh.
Yeah, it's connected to that. And goes from there.
Oh, okay then. Wait a second. Okay, thank you. So both of them have to be on.
This one has to be. That one can be off. This one has to be.
So if this one's on and that one's off, it's still gonna go over there.
No,
Okay, but if I want it there, I
you
have to
have to
have
have that one on.
both of them.
Right.
If I want it over there.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's weird. That's the way they plugged it in.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Hey, Yasmin. I drank the whole gallon yesterday by 7:21 or 7:31 or some shit. I was like,
Yeah, that's good.
and I didn't drink another fucking ounce of water after that.
So once I got started using just drinking gallons a day, I stopped going by the time
Yeah.
because it was just
As long as you
like-
drank it.
right. And so they were keeping me track when I first started it, I drink water and I didn't drink.
Yeah.
Now it's the only thing I drink.
Really?
But as far as like the times now, I go on my own pace now.
Yeah.
Because
As long as you get it all drinking
sometimes
today.
we're in here and leave, and so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just depends, I guess, if it's here or if it's down there.
So, as of this morning,
Mhm.
30 pounds.
That's amazing.
Girl, I'm just
Proud
saying.
of
Now, don't get me wrong. I was telling my coach, I said, don't get me wrong. I ain't ever stuffed.
Mhm.
I'm never stuffed.
Mhm.
Like when I eat my one mini green a day, I eat till I'm full, but not till I'm stuffed.
Mhm.
But anyway, but the other ones, it's just a matter of, getting something in my body to fuel me till the next time I need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is though, if you think about it, you eat those small portions, your stomach is gonna shrink. And so then you're just gonna get used to that small portion. I mean,
Well, see, actually, like, I had my stomach stick 1997. So actually, my stomach is full. I don't eat a lot at one time. I just eat shit I shouldn't eat. Because like a lot of people that have that surgery, they can't tolerate. I can eat anything. It doesn't bother my stomach.
Yeah.
And so, but because I didn't change anything I was doing as far as what I was eating, Cokes. I haven't had a Coke in almost 6 weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, but that's like how the weight came back on is I didn't modify what I was doing. I just eat smaller portions, but then I was eating all damn day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I can just get the water down, I think that's the key. Because the times that I have kind of plateaued a little, I wasn't until I got my gallon deal. I wasn't really keeping track of it, and that's why I wasn't really, like I have a really great week.
Right.
And like, and then whatever. But I think now that I've got that gallon.
I did quit drinking it out of there though, because it was getting so hot, and I already don't like water, and so I was like,
You like yours cold?
yes.
Okay. So I like my room temperature because it's how it ends up anyway. By the time I drink it.
And so what I was doing is just have this thermal, and you put it in there, and it can keep ice in there for like 3 days.
No
And
shit.
so I just pour it in there. That way I can always have cold water and not have to worry about adding ice to that,
Right.
jug. Roll it back and forth.
Okay. Today's date. September 25th, 2024 a.m. Today's date, September 25th, 2024 a.m.
Thank you.
Okay. Come on, man.
Not much, man. I'm just got here a little early. I thought I'd talk to Cindy there. This is the questions we're gonna go through. I always print them out. I vary from this sometimes, but I kind of wing it sometimes. But I thought I had 2 copies of it. Hey, what's up, man? Y'all good?
Who's in the middle?
No, that's
just
great.
this is
It's for a Zoom hearing at 10 o'clock.
Oh, you have one. Oh, okay.
Unfortunately.
So he does like part Zoom, part.
No, I have to go back to the office. And,
You're kidding me, right?
All right.
That's
funny.
Yeah, I guess they don't have the ability to turn the camera on.
No, well, it echoes so bad. And so, like, if I'm in here, if you're anywhere in the same room, when you're doing Zoom, like, it bounces off one another and it echoes. It's a program that picks up on who's talking. And so it just keeps.
So you know that's where we're going. We're gonna be going where we're in little bitty rooms. We go for you.
I'm asking your name.
I read that.
So, 366 years, but I think, yeah. I hope, between 13, they married to, like, which is just. That's the, Texas form, that's
Anything involved in
laid out. It's hard to- You're anything, he does, right? I'm all, no, that's funny. Is there any reason why they could take? Or there any children who are married? Your wife is you and your wife made arrangements. That's,
Yeah, you gotta beat them down in the morning.
that's right. Your wife's
Okay,
signature,
who are these?
your wife's signature on the last page. Your signature is there too. There's a post on our gas imports.
I don't know what trust.
So you.
Okay, nothing, this guy. You see, okay. See, they're looking, her.
Sure.
Like, you got someone like, you'll have a hearing and you work.
Oh.
And, I like it.
You've been married 20 years with the same telephone, I just look at What I've noticed, anytime there's more than like 3 or 4 witnesses, it's a hard time. Everything, such things on this stuff. I just want if there's any more than like 3 or 4 witnesses, large numbers of exhibits, it's almost ridiculous. I mean, something's always going down. It took 2 years to try this. How do you do 4 times? I mean, you have to have a screen that big, you know, and a microphone and everything. So we did a Zoom version. Years ago, like it would be so. I mean, what if you're in the middle of nowhere, you can't see it. You're just, and all of a sudden this other person, they're not going to tell you that they're screwing.
How much, okay. I'm trying to get you money. I mean, trying to get you money. You want me to stop? Okay.
I put my money in rolling. Right, I know we're bringing hey, you do have recreational travel. Okay. What was soon here was, I guess it was back to the option. This was, I think it's late at night. Jeez. It was, yeah. It's nice. That's what I had. It's just the vision messed up. It has to be. Trying to. You ain't going around here, boy. That's exactly what you said. This is they don't follow the law here. There's no understand. The law according to Jeff. You gotta change.
Move on, that's just right. Try to
You have a chance to try to face them for I'm looking forward to it. I haven't helped winter. And that's not being considered. Yeah. Horrible. You didn't. I think you did. That's the only place I've ever been homeschooled. They like the guys. 2 different things. Now, hours. I have my application. This sounds better. No, this was 10 years ago. I don't know. But it's check it and see if I use the that's it. No, it's a show you. He said he. And then I heard, I have a geography. I hear it. Well, Brad was saying, she's one day at school. She won't take sitting here. She'll only take here like 9 o'clock, 9:30 or something. It doesn't matter. Like, you're a mom, you're there. It's like, no, it's like, wait a minute, I'm going to see you. Well, just she. She. And she was really good. Yeah, that's the other thing. I was sometimes also talking. Good when I'm doing something. And so, because they're not next to you, and then just basically, right, so, hey, ask this, yeah, I mean, it's ready to talk. Yeah, I never really did. If I'm there with I'm checking for another council. Yeah. But, that's it. Yeah, I just didn't know, because I was not really impressed. Oh, really? It's been so good. I remember you here. It's got battery. The picture somehow. But oh, yeah. Let's.
I don't know. I'm gonna start off with what we were talking about. It may go along with it.
I was going here today. I'm
city.
Because we both, so people are.
Yeah, I think the problem was. Have we talked before?
Yes.
Oh, you're the one with the money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe else you're in, right?
Throwing out, so there's something they're hiring, whatever.
Y'all ready? You ready?
On the entry?
We got the
Not
hat.
entry.
Sorry, team.
Okay. Are you ready for the judge yet?
Oh. I don't know if you want to turn it out there.
Yes, you can.
I
Very recommended.
guess I take it all. I barely recognize you.
Really? You found that funny? Yeah. You found that funny?
You what?
You found that funny?
I did.
See, he did not find it funny.
I don't have that wrong yet. He is a judge of the district. If we're okay taking this off.
You're okay, Your Honor.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Like this one over here. You want to be ready for-
I do something.
This is part of it. Yeah, I think you already backed
I
up.
can't wait till I'm the judge.
You will not be my judge. I can prove it here to that.
I will employ you.
I will quit the first day of.
You know, with, here I just see if I'm frozen in this here, these days, but you guys are lying to me. Nobody does work for you.
You tell you what.
I'm telling you, they can't, with all this we were talking about, I'm just talking about this. I had this great idea. It says, okay, really didn't want to talk. I mean, he feels bad about what's going on. So I just keep you on visiting judge. And then Robin chimed in and says, there's no court reports here. You know, who you gonna get through the court report?
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Well, and the other thing is, lawyers don't understand the importance of court, and what their job is. And that's why some lawyers say, not today's safe.
The only problem with court reports is they charge too much for transcripts. If they wouldn't charge them.
Well, do you want a verbatim record or a, it's kind of what they said, right?
Is there even a degree in court?
Yes, there is.
Yeah, they got the
Online court report. How long is it? Is it like a few weeks or?
Note to self.
Hey,
Because surely they should
no,
not charge them that much.
on a serious note, are y'all concerned in any way about like all the stuff going to
To be honest with you,
Well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you know why, right? I mean, I could see a time where Court of Appeals judges might say, hey, let's just bring up the Zoom stuff instead of the transcript, which is scary. I love Robin. I love
well,
you.
but the other thing is you're gonna search for it. I mean, how are you gonna search through the whole day or, in his case, 20 days of trial?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You got to
If they
watch
need a
it.
certain part of it. Yeah, transcript. Yeah, I think it has to be put in like.
And the thing with, and I'm not saying nothing against any judge, I love to say as an attorney, but like even electronic recording, big mistake. Because you just I'm not saying anybody, you just basically request a court order, but who are you gonna get to transcribe the audio?
And I just thought about this. The good thing about court reporters can say, wait a minute, I didn't understand that. Unless the judge is willing to realize, okay, that was an audible.
Yeah,
Because at least you can stop the situation and repeat your answer.
and even then, because he'll tell you, do I have a problem speaking up? But even then, they constantly, and so if they're gonna constantly talk over each other, I will listen to audio 20 times to try to pull it apart. But if I can't, I can't. You know?
Luckily for her, I don't do that.
I feel sorry for Robin because Sheila May used to always have this joke. Connor and I used to go after each other all the time. Right? Well, you know how fast I talk, which I'm more hated of it too. But Sheila said, I could never get rid of when y'all have trouble because
Yes.
and Gary like, so it's like, what'd you quit?
Yeah. And I had somebody yesterday, it was like, oh my God, can you complete the sentence, please? Because it was constantly, and there's no, please slow down.
No,
Please slow down.
what's funny is my last jury trial was here the person you replaced.
Diane.
When was that? About 2 years ago? And,
I've been here a year next week.
because, well, you know, nobody's ever done that now. So, after,
counting.
oh, really? There you go. After it was over with, no, now remember, I had gone in front of Robin for many years when Judge Oakley was here,
Yeah.
and then I'd gone in front of Sheila May for many years right out of law school. So since like the early 90s, I'd gone in front of both of those. I didn't realize that you guys go to court reporting, the CLE and talk. So what happened after the jury trial, as a gesture for her putting up with me at the speed, I bought her a bottle of wine or something like that. Next thing I know, Robin's texted me, "You owe me like 12 cases." Like, where's my wine? So
yeah.
the judge went and bought her a case.
How funny.
Yeah, so, but yeah, they're, everybody's been good.
There was one, oh my gosh, I wish I could remember his name, so I'm loving putting name to it. Obnoxious. Because he was talking so fast, I literally could not understand it. Like, I literally couldn't even understand anything you were saying.
Right.
And so I can tell him to slow down. You can tell him to slow down all you want. They're not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
that's who they are.
Yeah.
I've tried.
So on a break, I said, I'll tell you right now, Mr. So-and-so, if you don't slow down and you want that record, all that's gonna happen is walk, because that's what I heard. You know, it's like, I've never had a court reporter tell me to slow down. I'm looking at him like, I'm
You're
lying now.
Then you haven't tried this. Every court report I've ever been in. Slow down.
And I want to
But
throw something, but I haven't done it yet.
What's funny about it is, you know, most of the trials that I did have were usually either criminal cases that, you know, I wasn't going to do the appeal anyway. That's the other guy's problem.
Right.
Or family law, which, you know, there's almost, you're not going to win anything on the appeal family law case.
Yeah.
So I would have court reporters tell me that, hey, your records, it doesn't matter. It all dies today. It's not going to be appealed. Nothing's going to happen on appeal and family law.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with records on West Texas. I've been here a year. And it's living with children.
Well, you know, I guess there's certain things, like if someone gives away someone's separate property, that's automatic. You know, the judge does that, but for the most part, they're just, the family law appeals, there's so much discretion to the fact finder.
Yeah.
I mean, unless there's just some egregious, which is rare, they're almost always upheld. I think, you know, and one time I had Judge Jackson's, I had all her family law jury trials, or all her jury trials for the whole year were 4 months. I had like 4 that year. And I've been doing this going on since '92. And during that period, I've only had 3 appeals come at me, and all 3 were even. So just, I would tell my clients, look, I don't do appellate work. I can give you an attorney, they'll take it up, but it's not worth it. Although there was one appeal that, in the Harris County case, where it was actually, it wasn't a jury trial, appeal regarding summary judgment. And the court just got it wrong. So it was the first time I was ever sitting in the advanced family law in San Antonio. And I didn't even raise my hand, but they were saying, and there's just one squirrely case that came out that's just totally against the law. So we're just going to consider that an operation. I'm just kind of sunk down in my not my fault. The court of appeal. What happened was it was a retirement issue, and they basically said that they agreed that they're, you know, the guy, my guy signed a waiver. She's the one that had the attorney. Property distribution. They said later on that my guy had a double secret agreement contract with her. Well, res judicata, right? I mean, already dissolved. Now you're coming back. They were kind of having, they were hooking back up and everything later on. So they were basically saying this oral contract trumped the division in some way. So we went up to the Supreme Court and we won the Supreme Court, and it came back down. And then the trial court, you know, did what the Supreme Court said, which was in my favor. Okay, the trial court got it right. Court of Appeals got it wrong. Supreme Court got it right. There was a lot of money here. We're talking. Then the stock market, basically 2008, when everything went down, well, there was worth fighting over more. So we never took it back up. So now you have this Court of Appeals case, second time, went up one more time, and we still got it wrong. That's out there. That's, you know, bad law that's out there. And so I've had people, I've had judges I've been in front of that were mediators call me up one time saying, Jane, your name's all over this thing. What the hell's going on? I got this guy showing me that they can have this secret contract. I'm like, all I can tell you, Judge, is I think bad law, and I wish my name wasn't a part of it.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
But, yeah, so there's yeah. So things like that sometimes happen, but that's rare. You know, usually vandal cases, there's just so much discretion for fact finders.
Yeah. Yeah, do you practice criminal as well, something, or
Yeah, I do criminal, a little bit of civil, probate, you know.
and are you gonna be a district court?
I am, yeah, thank God. My sister, this is what's crazy. My sister is the county court of law judge.
I heard that.
So we're the only brother and sister judge, I guess, team
Yeah.
in the state right
Oh,
now.
cool.
It's happened in the past, but yeah, so if you call Waller County, you know,
I heard she's much nicer to take down on the record. I'm not gonna say who.
oh yeah, I know it's true. She's slow. She doesn't, you know, I don't know. I must have been adopted and not told because nobody else but them talks this stuff. But yeah, she's thank God she gets to handle all the family law cases.
Yeah.
And Grimes County recently got Tuck McLean as the county court of law judge, so he handles all the family law cases in Grimes County. So hallelujah, man, no more family law.
Yeah.
Because it is. It's the stuff that's crazy. It's kind of like sexual assault cases. That's what I have to do with them. Those cases almost always have to be tried because when it comes to dividing the kid, comes to sexual assault, DAs never did anything less than 99 lives. So,
Yeah.
so that's what I'll be dealing with. And maybe every once in a while murder cases have to go. Right now, Grimes doesn't have any of those. They have sexual assault on the internet, all that stuff. So that's my biggest issue. On civil, you'll have like real estate stuff.
Yeah.
I have some of that. But most civil litigation type matters, you know, they don't want to go to too conservative. They don't want to try that anywhere else but there. And so, not too many of those. So really, a lot of pleadings, like I said, there's sexual assault cases. Every once in a while, and see, county court of law handles all the condemnation. So like all these rail cases, that's all going to be county court of law now. Now there's some still pending because the bench was just created in Grimes County. Grimes County is right above, is between Brazos County, which is College Station, and Waller County, Pittsburgh. So it's now so. You know where Minnesota is?
Is that on that side of Brennan?
Yeah, like if you're in Katy, you go Katy, then you go Hempstead,
Yes.
and you
And
know
Hempstead is.
Hempstead's the county seat for Waller County.
Waller.
And I live in Katy, right? Waller County's a backwards 7. And right above that is like a rectangle. That's Grimes County. Yeah, and like Montgomery County, Tomball, Conroe's to the right.
Okay.
But yeah, no, see, Austin County was first county in Texas. And then Grimes came in when Washington County came in. I was reading some history. Waller came in a lot later. Waller basically was after the Civil War. The reason I told it was backwards 7 is because all the counties were trying to keep the Black community in a certain spot. So they all donated land. And but I don't know if it was Harris or Fort Bend didn't donate their section. So that's why it's not a thing. Now, I have no idea how true that is. That could be totally the biggest urban myth or rural myth. But that's what I'm told. But and then College Station, A&M, Brigham A&M is affiliated with College Station. And back in the day, they didn't want like people on the or the A&M, so they created Prairie area. And what's funny is they're having this big fight down in College Station about Saul Rawls, how he would. It's kind of funny.
You got something?
He's got Tourette's now.
Yeah, it's called Believing in You. So let me ask you, Judge Cheney, if a lawyer were silly, I don't want to make the transcripts. You expect that relationship to be much more than this?
That lawyer might also.
She's gonna forget like a few words that are key.
I'll never forget a few words.
She said not guilty, not guilty.
I'm guilty.
I'm guilty. You want that transcript?
That same lawyer might have, put, I don't know, a bunch of candy in the candy jar.
Which really upsets me because I'm trying to not eat candy. You did that on purpose.
Those types of things you just can't coach.
I can retire today, actually.
I have a question. So what is the game plan with you guys as far as doing trials in the future, like jury trials?
For sure not, probably till 2021.
I'm waiting on nothing gonna happen.
Yeah. And even then, I'm thinking like
That's what
next summer is my, no, that's.
We can't, there's no way we can wait that.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Well, see, the criminal cases are what concerns me because, there's no way constitutionally, I think.
Yeah.
They're just gonna kick all these people free.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
we'll just
how
give them a
are you
second
gonna-
time when they kill them.
How are you gonna?
Let's let them molest you other kids.
Do you want people on the jury that don't want to be there because
No, I think.
they're resenting every bit of what you're saying? And they're
I
resenting
think
jury
though,
when they're
if
standing.
you start
As
the
a judge, hey, wait, they're voters.
if you start to say, hey, that's a reason to kick them off, because you're gonna get some people just come in there and say,
Exactly.
I don't like this good coach. So you have this slippery slope that you're gonna go down.
But this is what's crazy.
I'm
Is
just gonna try to bus panel crazy, because then you start getting some people.
people really take sides. I'm still, I'm an opponent. I go to these campaign rallies and stuff.
She
in Orange
has
County.
her own way.
And it's kind of like a badge of honor that nobody wants to wear a mask, And so you're all going, as politicians, you're not allowed to wear a mask. Why are you wearing a mask? And then you have, like, what happened on Tucker, outside where they said it's not, they're tasering this woman in Ohio because she wants to watch her kids in a football.
I think the worst part about it is, I think that, all right, so you have a black cop, white, but he never even asked her if she had a medical condition, which is why she wasn't wearing it. And that's one of the reasons they give you is, hey, look, you do not have to wear it if you have a medical condition or something like that, right?
But you have to get a doctor's note.
But this is what's
He didn't
crazy.
even ask that.
Was, the one guy got up, didn't know what to do, goes over there, but other people were like dogging her when she's leaving. Where's your mask?
Yeah.
It is divided, man. It is totally divided. Down political lines.
Yeah, no, and then, you have these people saying, officer was wrong, and then you have black people coming in and saying, why? Because he was a black cop and white.
Oh, I know.
Now y'all don't like the shoes on the other foot, blah, blah, blah. And
It's not a good situation.
no matter where you
And
go.
they were even talking with comedians, do you even see many comedians anymore at all? Because comedians, that's a dead industry. Because you can't make fun of anything, man. That was the thing, everybody laughed about each other, or laughed about it. When I was growing up, everybody made fun of everything.
Oh, yeah.
You made fun of yourself.
And it was very.
Other ethnic groups, everybody just rolled.
Yeah.
Now, man, you were just, yes, I know. Seinfeld was accused of being able for Jewish people. And he's Jewish.
Isn't that kidding?
I went to a black comedian one time at the Improv there at Silver at 16. And we're sitting at a table. It was a spot table, and they just pack you in. Like, they don't really care if you sit with this person or not.
Yeah.
We're sitting with a black couple, right? And this black comedian is talking about how black people are lazy as hell and this and that. And I'm busting up laughing, like, I'm just laughing my ass. And I was like, well, they're not the two. I don't give a shit. Like,
We're at a comedy show.
yeah. I mean, like, I didn't come here to sit here and be like,
Well, the reality is, and this is, stereotypes are fun because there's usually some little bit of joke to it or truth to it. But the reality is, I know so many people of every ethnic group that work their butt off, that aren't lazy.
Yeah.
That are, it's.
And vice versa. They're lazy as heck.
I mean, on the white side, they're called the rednecks and white trash and everything else, So, I don't know. It's just a tough,
the military gave me
just
the
keep
best.
joking around.
Yeah.
The military gave me the best view of how it should be.
Yeah, you guys are in there with everybody.
Is because we had Filipino, we had everything you can think of. And when you're overseas, you won't give a shit what
You're
color
in
they
this
are.
time. You just want to make sure that guy got
As
your
long as
back.
he's going down range with you and shooting the same way you are. But
But we're not on the record yet. What's up?
I agree.
no personal calls or anything. What's your name?
I know. There's a lawyer here that he goes by Jay Bowie. I said, you ain't no Jay Bowie.
The new.
Anyway, I'll watch back in the function.
No, but my sister was saying, and maybe you've seen this, because how long have you been working?
just 10.5 years.
My-
That explains a lot.
But my, situation, I think mediation did this in one way, but, Auntie just don't want to maybe make the person. She goes, so many things come from her. They just come up and basically say, I should win, or why? I'm going to case. We don't object. At some point, she feels in there going, no, you're taking an objection here in any way. You know, it's like, are you seeing more and more of that, or is it, you think it's always been the same? Because you saw some good times, I'm sure.
Well, to be honest with you. And I'm gonna say, I think you have potential. I think the older twins are much better
Yeah.
than the younger
And
twins.
we were
I don't know
talking,
what's going on.
we were just, well, I think back in the day, because when I was here, yeah, I would go down to Conrad and Jamie all the time. And we look forward,
Yeah.
you know, to kind of litigate anything else. Some of the guys would like scary, like, I had a girl literally trying to case out Toronto right out of law school. And she was up at the bench and she couldn't get this information in. There was an exception here, so she didn't know it. And she couldn't get her document. And she literally said, Judge, you won't let me get this in. Judge, you
Wait a minute now, wait a minute.
Law school.
Yeah.
But, you know, I never went in. I mean, I would sit and watch other attorneys. So, you know, I knew how to do it. And, I don't know, it just made them show up. I think. Well, you stay with his own. But I think the sweet spot's probably, I always say, you want to bring the sweet spot to 6 years.
Yeah.
And you don't want to probably one that.
I had decades. I had a double trial. The other side didn't do anything.
Well, and that's, you know, I'm sitting here and I don't really necessarily listen to the story, I just listen to words. And there's something, I'm thinking, wait a minute.
You didn't let that in? But there's sometimes that, like for me, strategically, I'll leave them that stuff. But then you have some judges who go finger, and so when you object, and it's a proper objection, they're like, oh, I'm like,
Yeah, I know, that's my big thing. And the one thing I've always prided myself on, the rules of procedure, rules of evidence, I mean, I'm always been on. But, so I feel like I'll do a good job in that regard, but it is crazy. Everybody's telling me the same thing, all the time. Your biggest problem is going to be, one, shut the hell up and listen. But number two, you're not an attorney anymore. You know, don't treat this,
Right.
you know, as
From an attorney
from
point
an
of view.
attorney perspective. Just listen and make your move. Just listen and make your move. And the less you talk, the less there's problems. And that's going to be hard for me to get shut the hell up.
and that's what I really love about church leaders. He just sits there and listens. Like, and I tell people all the time, like, you look at that witness, but I can guarantee you, he knows exactly what you're going to sit there. I said,
He's very, yeah.
I said, so, don't give me this. I hate it when a client hears it. Yeah, I know. But I don't give a shit what you're like. If you.
Or they'll do this to you.
Yeah.
You know,
So that's his weakest problem. And, you know,
No, that 11 baby.
yeah, oh, no, that's true, that's, yeah.
That was, she kept, she was trying to help the witness answer. I had to object to her, so I brought her shit. I'm like, she was testing.
From the, anyway, it was great, because we had a 10 o'clock page, real quick.
I don't understand. If they can, I said, you her phone, her telling us. Well, then all of a sudden she started and said, oops, they got lost. And I delete my messages. I daily. And she's like, yeah, that's essentially what. And she was on that side. And I'm asking, so, can I see your text? She said, yeah, sure.
I was shocked.
I said, what? You want to hear it? I accused him of fraud. And I see it. There it is. And check him on phone. Not right now.
Here, real quick, we have a 10 o'clock Zoom. Oh, with you. No, you're not in here. You're in somewhere else. Yeah, so, you know,
All rise.
There you go.
Austin County Court of Law, the Honorable Dan Meeting,
So
presiding judge.
are you all ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Thank you, be seated.
I did that.
Okay, so come on up on that one.
Judge, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
Morning, Judge. This crazy world that I'm getting ready to enter into.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna call you up, like, okay, any guidance on this thing? Just hold on. Okay.
Do you need a record?
I don't think so. Let's record which one. Here's the,
I don't need one.
the final decree and the waiver and all this. I did not staple the decree, Judge.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so you're Juan Martinez? Okay, so let me get you to raise your right hand. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, you may proceed. You may.
Would you state your name to the judge? Juan Emmanuel Martinez. And you're presently married to Leslie Martinez, correct? Correct. And you've been a domiciliary of Texas for the preceding 6-month period. And preceding 90-day period.
Correct.
When you you married Leslie on December 23rd, 2017.
Right.
And you ceased to live together on or about November 4th of 2019.
Correct.
Your marriage to Leslie has become insupportable because of discord or conflict of personality that has destroyed the legitimate ends of the marriage relationship, correct?
Correct.
Is there any chance of reconciliation? No. Were there any children born in there?
No.
And there were none adopted?
No.
And your wife is currently not expecting a second?
No.
Have you and your wife have made an agreement that's before the court this proposed final decree regarding property division and debts, is that correct?
Yes.
And you think that this agreement is a just and right division of the estate? And you're familiar with her signature, and that is her signature on the last page of the decree, is that correct? And she's actually signed a waiver in this case, so she wasn't served, but she signed a waiver of citation in this case.
Correct.
And that's before the court as well, correct?
Correct.
And you're asking the court to grant this divorce and approve that agreement, the proposed decree in front of you, is that correct?
Correct.
No more questions.
All right, well, and based on your testimony, I'll grant the divorce and approve the property division.
Thanks, Jeff.
Give you this file here.
So what's the word on, have you heard anything from, I was keeping up with Judge McKay there for a little bit, but I mean, is there any light in sight as far as jury trials?
And, they come out every month and just extended it. So the latest one is December 1st, but I wouldn't be surprised once December 1st comes, it'll be January 1st. And
2023.
yeah,
Well, thank you, Judge.
let me give you this file. I'll just take it to the clerk. Have you been able to hear whether or not that college for new judges will be live or?
I'm assuming not.
Yeah,
everything I know has been Zoom. I mean, Judge McKay sent me over a free seminar. He said, I don't know if you can attend this or not. So I signed up for it. And on the, it was regarding mental health and criminal law.
Yeah.
And he said, this is a good one. You probably need to see if you can attend it. And it said on there, if you don't get an email back that you're accepted, you need to call. Well, I still haven't got an email back. So I'm going to try to do that one.
Yeah.
But
I just wonder, I mean, the benefit of just about any seminar is when you're talking to people, not sitting there listening to somebody lecture. And the benefit of that, the college for new judges is, they break you up into small groups. I mean, they would have the lectures
right.
to the whole thing. And then after they're done speaking to everybody, then you would break into a group of, 6 or 8 or something. But your 6 or 8 would be, like for me when I was there, it was general jurisdiction, county courts of law from rural counties. So, I mean, I would, in my group, I'd have somebody, from Lufkin,
Right.
The coast.
That knew what you were going to see. Right?
Well, no, I'm talking about who are new judges.
Oh.
So these are all people, when I was there, who were just elected all over the state. But again, all county courts of law, general jurisdiction, from rural, counties of like under 40,000. So, I mean, I periodically will still call them, right. Because, hey, have you had this come
exactly.
up, and what do you do? And I don't see how they would do that by Zoom, because suddenly it's one thing to have, somebody lecturing, I mean, your class will probably have 100, 150 people in it. And to be honest, I mean, that general lecture, you know all that stuff. And, it's like, okay, you're a judge, don't take bribes. It's like, I really didn't need to hear all that. But it's like I said, where you really
Just making the connection.
Yeah, and what they did in those smaller groups is they had then your leader, facilitator, whatever they wanted to call it, who's going to be, again, some for me, some general jurisdiction county court of law judge from the world who had been a judge for 30 years. So then he would get the group together and throw out, okay, what would you do in this circumstance? And then everybody would, well, I think I do this, and I think you do that, and they talk about it. And he said, well, that was the most beneficial.
That makes sense.
And I don't see
And we're not
how,
gonna have that.
well, I don't see how you would, unless there's some way to have, okay, there's the Zoom seminar, and now there's going to be 30 other Zoom hearings that you're going to get out of one and get into another,
Right.
and then all, talk. So I don't know
Yeah,
how
I don't
to
see
do it.
how that. Maybe, I mean, my gut is we'll probably have, when winter hits, we might have a little bit of a spike.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think,
But
and it's gotten so political too. I just don't see, because I can see like a lot of the Harris County.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the thing is, if by some chance they have it live, the people who put it on, it's called the Texas Center for the Judiciary. They're a great resource for stuff. So you want to, the executive director is a guy named Mark Atkinson. He had been a judge in Harris County for a long time. And a lot of the underlings were either former judges or whatever, but then they have all the staff, and they're the ones that they keep up with your hours, and they reimburse you for costs, and they do it. So they're a great resource. They're great, friendly people. So that's who you kind of want to be able to meet.
That's right.
Put names to those faces, and
it's just kind of, everything's changed. We'll see how it goes.
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that if and again, I realize the first 6 months, you're not going to have a whole lot of free time, but
Probably next year.
yeah,
With all this going on.
but it's almost one of those things that I would recommend if they don't have that school for new judges, sometime, February, March, whenever. I mean, I would drive to Austin for the day to go to the Texas Center's office and just go in and, okay, so you're Betty and you're Sally and you're Joe and you're Frank and you're Juan and you're Jose and you're, and just, again, it's because, especially in the beginning, you're going to be calling them. And the other people you want to get to know is, you are in district or region 2. Okay, right now, Region 2, the presiding judge over Region 2 is Judge Underwood.
Yeah.
Okay, so you really want to get to know Underwood and his staff too.
She thought, they hit it off. They had a long conversation like a bunch of people like that. She called me, who?
Well,
but she's got a lot of people.
He's not for me. I'm in the 3rd region.
Okay.
So my guy's out of Georgetown. So, he really doesn't impact me. But when I go to, he's real powerful. And that's why he doesn't want to give it up. But my experience with him, is he should throw that up. But so, I mean, it's appointed by the governor. It's not and he's not a sitting judge anymore.
Oh, you can still do that.
No, I don't. No. So no, that it is an appointed position to be the presiding administrative judge.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know it was a point. I thought maybe there's a vote.
No. The governor. There's probably about 10 or 11. I don't even keep track of regions that the state is broken up, and it's one of those. At some point, they need to redraw the lines because, it's like you're in the 2nd region. Okay, so 2nd region, it's Harris County and Waller County and this county and this, it's the most gerrymandered, screwed up thing. And, and part of the trouble is the second region. So it hits Waller County, and I think it hits Washington County. So imagine from Harris County going out, Waller County, Washington County, but then it circles like, here's Austin, around Austin County. And I want to say the county under us is something else. So like, frankly, the second region that you're in is really, Montgomery County, Harris County. That's where it all is. It's like they should almost take Waller County and these other counties and put us into the third, because we get a piece of Travis County, but we're much more a rural, just about except for the ones out of Travis County. All the rest are, like me and Judge Steinhauser, they're these rural.
It's totally different.
It is totally different.
Especially because I know in Harris County, every district judge is just family law or just criminal law. Here you guys kind of have to handle it, especially court law, y'all are there too.
Yeah.
I mean, they have county judges there.
Well,
you're doing probate.
To give you an example, what a different world it is. So I go to the school for new judges, and somebody spoke on, a judge spoke on, ethics or recusals. I don't even remember what it was. So I had something relatively early in, my life as a judge come up, and I said, well, I'm going to make sure I do this right. So I called the office of that judge that spoke on the topic, just called us, and, he was on the bench. So his coordinator answers the phone. I said, I'm Judge Leedy, I'm a new judge, Judge so-and-so spoke at this conference. I got a question. He goes, well, he's busy. Can't you just ask your legal clerk? And I'm thinking, my legal clerk, lady, it's kind of me. Yeah. And so, but that's what it's like, in Harris County.
Because, every family law judge has an
associate. Yeah.
And every probate court has
a master.
Yeah. And they have an attorney as well.
Yeah.
Not just hearing cases, but.
Well, it's kind of their probate master.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why, but that's
me.
But that's what is so good about those small breakout groups at that thing for new judges.
Then you're talking to people that have the same problems.
You're talking to people the same problems, with the same shit, who have to deal with the same goofy commissioners. I mean, it's, again, you talk to a judge in Harris County, gee, I need to get, so-and-so, just go to your commissioners and just get another $50,000. I go, $50,000, shit, I'm lucky if I can get a fucking file cabinet,
Well, it's like, I was so happy. I was getting ready to come in Grimes County where they all hated the auditor. And out of the blue, I talked to Peg about it. I said, because county, they were already hitting me because I'm doing, they're already telling me, okay. So I went to McKay, what's going on? He goes, yeah, they're hitting me. Maybe I'll resolve that for you. I said, well, it's up to you, Judge. I'm used to firing people. I used to have 30 people with lost title. I was the guy that had to fire people. So I can do it, but it's kind of tough coming in.
Yeah, your first day
you're fired. So, but she just up and quit. And so then they it's like, thank God, and they all like the new lady. They all got together and she'd worked there in the past. And so, but that's going to be, more than anything, when I hear from Carol, like Carol stepped all in and I didn't know it. She was trying to get a budget approved, something she should by law. And it just, it had nothing to do with their departments. And so it's like, that's the tough part.
Now, I'll tell you the biggest unknown is the political minefield that you step into. Because yes, you can go in and say, look at the government code says this, and they're going to say, give a fuck.
Well, and Carol even said the reason she went in on this was because all these other county court judges were like, you need to get that, because see, everything's tied to Buddy, right?
Right.
So even in Grimes County, even Carol says, well, this probably shouldn't be the way it is, but if he gets something Grimes County, she gets a portion of it.
Right.
So she's getting all these county court law. You need to do this because it affects them too. Well, she went, it all blew up. Now they're talking to Cecil Bell, and now it looks like there might be a big push against trying to knock the CCL people out. So now your group's going to be Carol. I call this firestorm, not just in my county now, it's getting out of control, you know, and now is everybody gonna blame me just because she goes, and all these people are like, you need to go get that. So when I went and asked for it, you think.
Now, that's one of those things when, again, when judges from Harris County, Dallas County, you know, Fort Worth, Travis, when they tell you, oh yeah, you're entitled to that, you should go do this. Be careful, because you can.
Yeah, I've learned from what's going on is that there's certain factions that you better go and see how they feel about it. You might not agree with them, but you better go and at least talk to them about it so they don't get their feelings hurt.
Yeah.
You did this.
Well, the thing it's always amazing when, you know, like
I'm learning through Carol. I have that at least going from. What do you say?
Like here, you know, there's this constant struggle with the auditor and the treasurer. Okay, so I mean, it's amazing how often when Judge Steinhauser shows up, I mean, he like walks through the front door. Well, you know, he walks through the front door and then our phone starts ringing. Judge Steinhauser's there? Is he here yet? And no, we haven't seen him yet. And of course, that's because he just walked in the first floor. He hasn't made it here yet. But you've got all these moles everywhere that he's in the courthouse. And so what happens is the auditor's office will call because they want to talk to him before the treasurer's office can talk to him.
Yeah, I that's what it's working. But the good thing I got going through, at least in that regard right now, is the auditor in Grimes is new and they don't like her. So I don't have to worry about that one. I was one of Walker County, the guys I love. And I know the problem. Austin County amazes me because I always figure there's more money here than in Waller County.
I don't think so.
Okay, maybe not, but you know what the auditor's office pays? You're never going to be like all money full time here. The auditor's office pays, I think it pays like what, 50 or 60 minutes.
Probably.
Okay. Auditor's office in Waller County pays 100.
Yeah.
It's number 2 guy pays 82. Grimes County, I just found one.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, who the hell's going to go?
Sure.
County?
No, but that's not just the auditor. That's everything. I mean, it's sort of like, you know, in the DA's office, you know, Brandy is the top assistant. I don't know what she makes, but yeah, if she would go across the river, I mean, she would get like a $40,000 raise. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
It's just a weird world.
it is a weird world, and
See, y'all get pressure because of that, right?
yes, oh yeah,
They always point them.
yeah. Well, just like I said, you have to be careful and realize the forces that keep that world going are a lot stronger than what you got.
Yeah.
So don't go in and try to
fix it.
Just
ride with it. I'm trying to learn between you and Carol. I'm trying to learn. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Good talking to you.
We got time, but we've got to do it.
Okay.
Just told Brad, I said, announce it to Brad, we'll change the mind.
Yeah, and also we got a Zoom hearing starting at 10 o'clock. So I'm set up right. This is Sims, right?
Correct.
I'm doing fine. We have an interpreter
Yeah, no, I was gonna bring mine.
that we agree on. So that she's very-
Can you make sure Roland said she would. go
Yes,
first?
yeah. We proceed.
Hold on just a second here.
Olivia Juarez. David.
And if you think just proving this up is going to take longer than 5 minutes, well, then I may just let these people know I'm just doing just reading an agreement in the record. Is that?
I think 5 minutes. We should knock it out.
But for the interpretation.
Yeah. So let me just kind of tell them what's happening.
And it's not even complicated.
Well, they were in the waiting room. I don't know. Did I delete the waiting room?
Put your, put the cursor down for the bottom. Participants.
Okay.
That's, I can't see if it says one. If it does.
It says 3.
Oh, 3.
Smith, what's happening here? Say, Miss Smith, can you hear me? Oop, except you're still muted. You still have you're muted. Can you unmute for a second?
I can hear you, Your Honor.
I'm putting an agreement on the record real quick, and I see Mr. Anderson's not here yet, so that's what I'm doing. As soon as he shows up and I'm done with this agreement, then we'll get started with you.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I can't see you.
I think you have your camera off because we're on the screen.
Okay, I can barely see you. I can see you, but I can barely see you. Let me see if I can get this so I can, hold on. Usually I can, okay, here we go. All right, there you go. Hi there.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. So, yeah, I'm ready. Oh,
unmuted.
All right. Okay, so we're done with that prove up. Now I don't see Mr. Anderson, so we may call his office and find out where he's at.
That would be nice. You want us to? I can have my paralegal call.
Okay, if we just want to find out, yeah, unless I'm looking down here at my participants list at the bottom. Nope, I just see myself, Miss Smith, and Miss Sims. So, and I see all of you. So.
All right, let me just
All
have
right.
your call real quick and see what's going on. Could you call Mr. Anderson and find out where they are? Okay, you need the number? Let me give it to you real quick. I'll give it to you real quick. The number is area code 979-270-5100. Tell them say yes. Tell them to wait for call them, okay? All right, bye-bye. She's gonna call them, find out what's going on.
Fantastic. So so Miss Smith, is your office down in Houston?
Yes.
Did you get any flooding or any problems with the rain?
My office is in the Heights. I don't know if you know anything about Houston, but it's in the Heights.
Okay.
And it floods around this area, I-10 and Washington. It's really bad. So we closed on Tuesday.
Okay.
But by Wednesday, it was okay.
Good, good.
So yeah, we were happy about that for sure. I got caught on Washington one time. It was 5 hours.
Oh my
I
goodness.
sat and waited
Oh.
in the water. 5 hours. And then they finally let us go up on the down ramp to get off.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
So when it's bad, we work from home.
So do you live close to your office in the Heights?
I'm probably about 11 miles. That's not too bad.
Okay.
But I don't get a lot done at home. I don't. It's too easy to cook or garden or anything besides work. Okay. Go to sleep or whatever. Did you get a chance to do the seminar this year? The event?
I went to, I saw it online.
You did? Okay, yeah, that was online.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was the course director for the 101 course.
Okay. Well, I didn't attend the one on Sunday.
You didn't need 101, Judge.
Yeah, so I started the one on Monday.
You didn't need the 101, no.
But I really think it went fairly well.
It did. We were real pleased with it. Very pleased with it. It looks like we're going to be doing quite a few more webinars like that.
Yes.
Until this COVID is, under control. It looks like that's what we're going to be doing. So
the only thing that I thought was, kind of funny is, for a lot of the seminars, frankly, the most enjoyable part is during the breaks, when you get to talk to people and ask questions.
Yeah.
That's
didn't have that.
Sometimes can be, but so I thought was kind of interesting. Okay, is when there was a speaker and there was that section where you could ask questions or comment, whatever the word is, and I think it was designed, and rightfully so, to ask the speaker a question. Well, then it would be Joe Smith, hey, is Frank out there? And then Frank answers, gee, where are you? Well, I'm in here. And, how's the wife and kids? And then there'd be this long, and then somebody else who knows Frank and Joe would respond. And before long, it was one thing after another of those conversations that would happen out in the lobby, on a break.
Right. So, she sent them the link too.
Okay.
She did.
Yeah,
so.
my coordinator's trying to find out too what's happening.
Yeah, she called them and sent it. I may have done something. It came up, email came up to me, and it said it was Megan on the top. And I have a lady named Megan on another case this afternoon, and I thought it was that. And I text everybody, and said, I have it on my calendar for 1:30. So I don't know if they looked at that or what. I don't know. I'm not sure.
I just saw a message for Mr. Anderson. Let's see if I have him. Okay,
There
good.
he is.
He's here. All
Good
right.
morning.
And then, yeah, Mr. Anderson, you're still muted.
Unmute your deal.
All right, I'm here, Judge. Sorry about that. We didn't have the instruction for some reason.
Okay. And so now will Rudolph Sims be joining this?
Well, we didn't have the information to send to him. I can have my staff call him real quick and tell him how to get on.
Will he be needed for?
I don't know that he'll be needed. Hold on one second. Get ready and see if we can get on. I mean, this is just as far as I understand, this is just a motion to compel appraisal of motor vehicles and coins. We're not opposed to any of that. Okay. So, there was some issues due to COVID, and my client was just requesting that they wear masks and gloves. Apparently that was a problem.
Well, let's just go ahead.
All right.
Does anybody want a record of this while we're?
I don't need a record, Your Honor. I don't need a record.
Mr. Anderson, do you want a record?
No, I don't need a record, Judge.
Okay, so then, Ms. Smith, what are the issues that you want to talk about today?
Yes, Your Honor. As you know, I'm Jacqueline Smith, and I represent Carolyn Sims, who is the petitioner in the underlying divorce, and she's also the movement in this matter. Your Honor, this case was filed in July. It's July of 2019, so it's been over a year. And then temporary orders were entered. I just want to give you a little bit of a background so we can move on. Temporary orders were entered, I think, in August of 2019. And at that time, Mr. Sims got exclusive possession of the house and all of its contents and what have you. And my client, Miss Sims, she moved to California to be with her son. And they've been supporting her all this time. So what we wanted was they have a number of cars. There's probably about, we've counted 22 cars, but there's only about 5 of them that we want appraised. And then they have also some coins, some collector's coins that Mrs. Sims believes are fairly expensive. So we want those also appraised. So we started back in March to try to get it done. And Mr. Sims says they needed a certification from a judge saying basically you're clean. We waited a while. So then again in June, we asked if we could do it. And he said that the coins were at a bank and the bank was closed. And subsequently to that, we found out it was a Bank of America, but the bank is now open. It's been open. It said it was only closed for a couple of days. So then in July, we said, okay, can we do it now? And they said, send us some dates. We gave them some dates. They said those dates aren't good dates. Mr. Anderson needs other dates. He's not available. We need other dates. And we said, no, send us some dates because, let us know. And they never did. So this is our third motion. And they said, well, we'll give you some in October. And I said, no, let the court decide, seeing that we've had this moving object for so long. So now we want some dates when a date when our appraisers can go to the house. The cars are outside, and the coin appraiser said he'll do them outside too. Mr. Sims just needs to go to the bank and get them because he can't go to the bank and get them. And so our appraiser is saying that he's available September the 30th, October the 1st, October the 2nd, or anytime the week of October the 5th through the 9th, where he can go and appraise the cars. He says he'll get there about 10 o'clock in the morning. There are 5 cars that he wants appraised, and I have a list of those cars that I can kind of share. Let me see if I can bring them up here. Let me see. Okay, it's not allowing me to share the screen for some reason. but I have a list of them, Your Honor. It's a 1957 Cadillac Eldorado, 1967 Pontiac Bonneville, a 1977 Oldsmobile 98, a 2017 GMC Sierra, and a 2016 GMC Yukon. Those are the cars that we'd like to appraise. And then we don't know how many coins there are. My client's not sure, but at least 15 to 20 coins that we would like to have appraised. And a coin appraiser said he can be there on October the 9th to appraise the coins. They all said they would wear masks. They would make sure they exercise social distancing. We just need this information so we can finish up our inventory and hopefully get this case mediated or tried.
So is the appraiser for the cars and the coins two different people?
Yes, Your Honor, they're two different people. And I have their names. The appraiser for the car, his name is Michael Woodig. It's Wooding, and I have his address if they need it. And then
He's for the cars or the coins?
He's for the cars. He's a car appraiser. That's what he is. He's with AAN Appraisers.
Okay.
And then I have Al Stern. He is the coin appraiser.
Now, what were the dates that you had said again?
Okay, the dates are 9/30, 10/1, 10/2, or any time during the week of 10/5 to 10/9.
Is that for both, or is that the car guy?
That's just for the cars.
Okay.
And then the coin appraiser said he can do it 10/9.
Okay.
On 10/9?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna have my secretary look at the calendar and see if any of those dates work with our schedule.
So first of all, Mr. Anderson, did you have those 5 cars? So are the 5 cars to be appraised? Is that all agreed?
Well, they can appraise whatever cars they want that are there. We don't have an issue with them appraising cars. I don't know what cars are there, Judge. So
I think, yeah, that's what Miss Smith read, 5 cars that they want.
And Judge, if those 5 cars are at the property and they want to appraise them, we have no objection to that, Judge.
Okay. Well, and it may be good if Mr. Sims can just verify that those 5 cars that Miss Smith talked about are there. Just so when the appraiser shows up, they're not going to have to look through the 22 cars or whatever it is to find those 5. So if he could locate, so we can kind of put hands on those 5 cars.
Okay. And Ms. Smith, can you email me just whatever the 5 cars are that you have that to where you can email
I'll be
me?
more than happy to. I thought I could share the screen, but for some reason I can't get into it. But I'll be more than happy to send you the list of the cars. No problem. When we finish, I'll be more than happy to send them to you.
Okay. And then so the coins, Mr. Anderson, do you have any idea the size of the
They're
coin?
in a bank. I'm sorry, Judge. They're in the bank, Judge. They're in I guess what do you call it? The
Safety deposit box?
Safety deposit box, Judge, is from what I understand.
I mean, I'm just trying to find out Miss Smith said something, I think she said 15 to 20 coins are what they want to look at. So do you know, I mean, is his collection 15 to 20, or is his collection, again, 1,000 coins that the appraisers are going to have to go through and pick out the 15 to 20 most valuable, or
I think it would probably be somewhere around the 10 to 15 to 20 coins is what
okay.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen them, Judge, and we talked about this a long time ago, so I wouldn't know. If he was here, I'd ask him.
Okay,
But
but
it's not hundreds of coins.
okay. So Mr. Sims then will get all the coins that he has in the safety deposit box and bring them to the house for Mr. Sturm to appraise. Is that
Okay.
the idea?
Well, I mean, can the guy go to the bank where they're at?
The bank is open. It's been open since, it was closed for 3 days in March, and that was it. So the bank is open. It's Bank of America. It's
Okay.
open.
So I'm assuming Mr. Sims will have to show up to get the safety deposit box open.
Yeah, he would have to meet him there, yes.
Well,
But
I mean, I would prefer that when Mrs. Sims left, Your Honor, the coins were at home. So we're asking that Mr. Sims go to the bank, saying that he put them in the safety deposit boxes. They're not going to let the appraiser go into that little room where you open them up, and just bring them home so the appraiser can
Yeah, but I
look
think
at the coins. Can I just finish, please?
Yep.
And then my appraiser's telling me he will do it on the porch. He won't even come into the house, and he'll do it there. So we're asking that he go to the bank, get the coins. That's what we're saying, maybe 10 or 11. That'll give you more than enough time to do it. And then the appraiser will appraise the coins at the home.
Judge, I just don't like, if these are valuable coins, I don't like the fact that they want to appraise them outside in the elements. It seems more logical to do it at the bank where it's a, inside environment, air conditioned. Then he takes them out, puts them right back in, and it's locked back up. It makes more sense to do that. It's a public place. It has cameras. Then that way nobody can say anything. There's cameras watching the whole situation.
They live on it's a large piece of property. There's nobody there. It's just them. My appraiser, Mr. Stern, he is bonded. I mean, this is what he does for a living. And when my client left the home, the coins were in the home. They were not in a safety deposit box at a bank. They were not there.
And where's Mr. Sturm coming from? Is he in?
He's coming from Houston, Your Honor. They're both coming from Houston.
Okay, and where is the bank?
The bank's in Austin County. It's at a Bank of America.
You know, which is that Belleville Sealy, or do you know, Mr. Anderson?
I don't know which bank it is. Miss Sims might know. Do you know which bank it is, Miss Sims? She's muted, Your Honor.
Hold on one second, Judge.
I'll talk.
Well, hello.
Miss Sims?
Judge.
Yes.
You know, well, a second, Miss Sims, do you know where the Bank of America is located?
Now, I think the closest one was out of Sealy, going towards Sealy.
And so,
We live in the country.
yeah, that's what I'm not familiar with the Bank of America around here. So you
Judge,
think
it's in College Station.
Which one did you go to?
okay,
Went to.
okay. And Miss Sims, is your house in Belleville or Sealy?
It's in Belleville.
All right. So to kind of ask Ms. Smith to speak for Mr. Sturm, getting from Houston to Belleville and Houston to College Station is probably about the same. So do you know if it's going to matter to him?
It will, because he's going to do some other things while he's in Belleville.
Okay.
What other things is he going to do in Belleville besides his job?
It's personal, but that's why I know he can go on that day.
Well, if you can tell us that he has other things, what is his personal things that he's going to be doing?
Objection is not relevant to this lawsuit at
Well,
all.
then I object to you speculating as to what he would prefer then.
Well, if he has a date that he's saying he can be in Belleville on October 9th, we'll just do this in Belleville. So what time can Mr. Sturm be in Belleville to do
He can be there at 11, Your Honor, or not, or that would give we're trying to make sure that it's easy on Mr. Sims. He can go to the bank if he wants to go that morning. He can do that and then have it back at his house at 11 o'clock, and that will be fine. I don't think it'll take more than an hour or so to, I don't know. I mean, I've never appraised coins before, but hour and a half or so for him to do it.
All right, so we'll have, Al Sturm will come to Belleville, October 9th at 11 o'clock to appraise the coins. All right, so now let's look at Mr. Wooding coming to Belleville for the cars. So I guess, Mr. Anderson, did you have a time, one of those dates that you are okay with?
Well, Judge, I think that, I mean, what do they estimate the time will be? It'd be nice if she was gonna have this hearing, if she would have had her people, that her appraisers here as well, to tell us how long this stuff's gonna take, because we're all speculating here, and, you know.
Well, I haven't collected coins in a long time, but back in my younger days, I collected coins. I think to look at 10 or 15 coins, he's gonna pick it up and he's gonna look at it on both sides, and he's just gonna say that's a 1909 silver dollar, and it's in, I mean, there's about 5 categories, proof, uncirculated, great, good, poor, whatever. And I wouldn't think, unless there's something really unusual, and if it is unusual, he'll probably just make a note and say that this is a 1700 doubloon or something, and in certain condition, and then he'll probably go back to his office and look up a value.
Judge, as far as the cars go, though, that's my concern. The coins, it probably shouldn't take more than an hour, but the cars is what, I don't know how long they anticipate taking to.
I would suggest, I talked to my appraiser about this. He said he'll get it done in a day, maybe an hour for each car at the most. There's 5 cars that we want appraised. That's it.
And where is Mr. Wooding coming from?
He's also coming from Houston, Your Honor.
Okay. So of those days that Ms. Smith has proposed, are any of those, Mr. Anderson, do you plan to be there during the appraisal of the cars?
Yeah, I was planning on it.
Okay. So are any of those days, which is best?
October 6th is the only day I have, and that's one of the days she gave, so.
Okay. So that works for Mr. Wooding, correct?
That's correct.
October 6th. And what time?
We would prefer 8 o'clock in the morning so we could get this done and over with. I don't want to have to be tied up right in the middle of the day where you lose both the morning and the afternoon. So.
Well, he had told me 10. You want 8? Can we split the difference and say he'll be there at 9 o'clock?
Let's just say 9 o'clock. Okay, so we'll have Michael Wooding will be approved to do an appraisal of 5 cars, and Ms. Smith will give those 5 cars. She read them on October 6th, starting at 9 o'clock at the house in Belleville, and the coins October 9th, 11 o'clock, the house in Belleville by Al Sturm. So Mr. Sims will have the coins there at the house on Friday, October 9th at 11 o'clock. So anything else?
I have nothing further. Mrs.
No.
Sims, did you have anything else?
Wait,
Okay, so
okay, now, no, all the cars are on the property. There's only about 5 of them there. So he have no problems getting in to check them.
right. And so I guess Ms. Smith, if you would just email or give that list to Mr. Anderson. So Mr. Anderson, if you could just have Mr. Sims, in order to reduce the time, it would just be nice if he could know where those 5 cars are on the property. If there's 22 cars, we just don't want, Mr. Wooding to having to be walking around where they're looking for, where is that 16 Yukon?
I can assure you, he does not have a used car lot like that.
No.
It's
Oh, okay.
it's maybe 5 of them out there. I don't know right off the top of my head. I know there's a couple. But if Miss Smith will send me an email of the cars, the 5 of them, I will give her a response as to whether they're there or not. And if
They, excuse me, they are there.
Excuse me, Ms. Sims. If there is an issue, then I will let Ms. Smith know, but there should not be. I will do my best to, if he still has the car, to get him there to the house.
I appreciate it. We have restraining orders in place though, and so they shouldn't have.
I
been-
understand. I'm not saying anything was done outside of the restraining order. I'm saying that if maybe there was a car on there that wasn't.
Not
you
a
know,
restraining order, I'm sorry,
sold a
there are
while.
injunctions. There are injunctions, and
Yeah, that's fine. And we'll follow all those injunctions in place.
Okay, so anything else?
You want me to do an order, Judge? I can do a
Yeah.
quick order.
Yeah, if you would, just, I have,
Attach the cars to it.
I have this thing,
I know, but I can't fill it in there.
Yeah,
I know, we didn't do a good job on that one.
just so we
I'll
can
make
put,
it better, Judge.
Yeah. well, that way we can just put the name, I put the name of the appraiser, the date and the time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, Judge, for
Good.
taking care of this. We
Anything
appreciate it.
else? Anything
I have
else
nothing
today?
further.
And do we have any schedule in place on
We
this?
do not, Judge. We do not.
Okay,
Judge,
so
if you want to do a docket control order,
I'm sorry.
if the judge wants to do a docket control order and send it out.
well,
I probably just want to take Mr. Sims's deposition, Your Honor. I wanted to get this done. I've been trying since March. I'm gonna take his deposition and then we'd probably be ready to do maybe mediation or a
okay.
trial.
So why don't we get the appraisers done, the appraisals done, get those reports back to Ms. Smith and Mr. Anderson, and then do your deposition. And then, I mean, if you can agree to a mediator, great. If not, I can appoint one. And then after that's done, then we can look at if we need trial dates or anything else.
That's it. Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right,
Have a good day.
all right,
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
bye. Oh, everything is off.
Am I doing this right, Christine?
You're gonna turn it off?
Yeah.
It's